Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Site. Today I have Game 5, the finale of Iowa GT 2025. I'll be playing off against my clubmate that I rode with, Billy Henninger, and he's going to be playing some Varangur. So, this is surprisingly the first time Billy's been on the Master Site, but Billy and I have played each other several times in the past. I think the last tournament we played each other at, though, was like just before I started doing videos. He and I played at the final table at Lady of the Lake 2022, I want to say. And he just kicked my ass and proceeded to go on and win the event. So, um, yeah, so it should be a good game here. So let's go ahead dive into Billy's list, and then we'll go over the game. So Billy's Varangur, he has two regiments of Draugr. He has a Horde of Fallen with Brute Strength. He has two regiments of Mounted Sons, both with the Stealthy upgrade. He has J Boots and Sharpness. Three Snow Foxes. He has Magnild. He has two Lords on Frostfang, both with Snow Fox, one with Blade of Slashing, the other with Pipes of Terror. And then he has the formation. The one of the units has the Helm of the Drunken Ram, and then Slicksnare, the super cool, extra brutal special character, gets Snow Fox. He has the Brand of the Warrior for additional brutal, so he is going to be brutal 2. And then he has Axe of the Giant Slayer for that Slayer D3. In total, 14 drops, 22 unit strength. And here's Billy. Yeah, we both got beards. What's up? And here's our board. So last game is Dominate, which is pretty open for line of sight purposes, but lots of difficult terrain and obstacles in the center area here. So uh, terrain wise, it is the special terrain piece is this one here. It's impassable. And the aura it's giving off is aura rally 1 and inspiring. So if you're within 6 inches, you're +1 nerve and inspired over here. As far as the rest of the terrain goes, we have multiple impassable pieces. This one here, the one that our clock is sitting on, that is impassable as well. And then building in the bottom right, blocking off. Obstacles are just in the center. There's only one hill here, and then there's a flat piece of terrain here, as well as a little one there, and then one forest in the back right. So like I said, very open field when it comes to line of sight purposes, but multiple, 4 impassables. So it kind of congests where, how you can approach the center of the board. Um, I got to choose table sides, and I think this side is much more beneficial. There is, a smaller gap to approach here, and then a little gap that one unit can approach from here. Otherwise, you have to go around onto your opponent's half of the board. Whereas I can approach the very center from, over 2/3 of the board effectively from here. So I pick sides. I think this side is definitely advantageous in this matchup. Um, yeah, so let's go into deployment here. So Billy has a Lord on Frostfang out on the far left. I believe this is Blade of Slashing out here. The Fallen, as well as a Snowfox unit. He then has his J-Boot unit with Snowfoxes behind. Slicksnare in between here with the Sharpness unit. He has Draugrs in the back, his other Lord on Frostfang here, and then he has his Formation Cav, so the multi-purpose shooters. They do get +1 to hit in melee, so they actually hit on 3s with their 14 attacks. and Thunder 1. Um, so yeah, they're pretty decent in combat, but they do have some bow shots. They hit on fives though, so sixes with the stealthy, or you guess he could shoot my portal. So, and then Magnild is out on the far right. So something that matchup wise, it's going to be necessary for me to mitigate is the individuals that he has. They have more than enough attacks to pick up, tormentor troops to really cause havoc and hurt my soul flares. So I need to make sure that they're not allowed to get into those types of units. So and then my deployment, I put this is Trickster's Wand. There's no spells, so this guy's just going to be a Dread Fiend for me. Put him out on the far left. Angled in a regiment with Tormentors to come up here. Butcher Flesh Ripper, triple stack number 1 here. Triple stack number 2 on the right. The one on the left is Blood of the Old King, I believe. Yes, Blood of the Old King. The one on the right is J Boots, and the one in the center is Helm of the Drunken Ram. I This is one of the few times where I kind of I deploy kind of weird. Um, I want the unit strength in the middle, so I put these scarecrows here, and they have the option to kind of jump forward, and the portal will be out in front along with the Butcher Flesh Ripper. But yeah, I just mainly wanted their unit strength value in the center. So, and then out on the right, I have both Mind Screeches and the Blade of Slashing Dread Fiend positioned in such a way to go out on the far flank. Um, yeah, looking at Billy's army, I'd love to shoot Snow Foxes, but they're all sitting behind the line. So the next best thing for me to shoot is these Light Cav. They're only defense 4. They have a lower nerve of 13, 15. So we'll try to put some wounds into them, maybe get lucky and pick one of them up before we get in combat. So, and if nothing else, if they're not a good shooting target, Magnild's always something that we need to get wounds on anyway. So Billy actually won the role for first turn here, and he actually talked to me quite a bit about it before and after the game. But he decided to give me first turn. His main concern or reasoning was he wanted to be able to jump on the dominate circle, kind of have the last punch on the bottom of the turn. And then he also did not want my Wind Blast to come into play for the bottom of the turn to potentially push him off of the objective for the dominate circle. So I don't think those are bad reasonings, but you are, obviously giving up board spacing in return for that. So me getting first turn, I'm able to push up, you know, as aggressively as speed 4 can push up, you know. But I'm able to push up, take away some board space, and really set up my flanks and really solidify my center lines here. So just pushing, or basically leaving this Dread Fiend open to go far left or come back into the center. Uh, yeah, I have the Butcher, I believe, in range of these guys. They might be able to charge either one of those two, but I have units that can answer. So, and then I pushed out on the far right and set up to Lightning Bolt here. Lightning Bolt was good for me. I did 4 wounds, 3 or 4 wounds, I think, average, but I rolled the high nerve and got a waiver. So, what comes around goes around. I did it to Jonathan in our first game with some stupid nerve dice. I got it done against me in Donnie's game. It got it done against me in Michael's game, and now I'm just giving it to Billy. So the shooting first turn waiver, or Donnie even killed my unit first turn, is a little out of control this event. Yeah, so this is Billy's turn, and he has the speed with everything, so he's in range of most things if he wanted to commit, but obviously committing this early is suicidal in a lot of ways. So, especially after you get wavered with one of your units, your lines just are not going to be great. So, he just repositions in such a way out here uh, and sets up. He does. I did position my Dreadfiend in such a way that I was out of Magnild's charge range unless she pops the flying for the turn. I value getting rid of that early and often. He does pop it, wants to try and answer to this Dreadfiend. Um, don't blame him for that, but I'm personally also kind of happy he's sitting behind an impassable piece now, so he can't, bother the units that I need to engage with his lines coming up here. So, yeah. So then, for his turn, he does a few wounds, does not get the waiver. His shooting does a wound to the portal, but then that gets radianced off. So, not much to speak of on turn one with no shooting or little to no shooting and only one combat. So, my turn, I position to shut the door over here, basically. So, this positioning here gives me a couple things. One, Butcher, Flesh Ripper in range of Rally and Inspiring from the terrain piece. So he's going to be a 14-16. There is only able to be single charges on him between these two impassable pieces, the way I have it angled. And if you charge him, I have the Dread Fiend in the flank, I have the Tormentors in the flank of whatever charged him, so I have options to counter. Um, and yeah, none of these units fly or can get around. Currently, the Lord is actually looking at the back of that unit, so his only other charge would be the regiment, which I have answers to again. It'd be a rear and a flank if he doesn't kill the regiment. So, um, but in order to do that, he would have to sidestep and not engage at all. So just effectively shutting down this flank, allowing me to, zero in on the main unit strength portion of the army here. I choose that trying to fight Magnild is a losing proposition, so I decide to go around her for the time being and threaten the ability to get into his lines if she doesn't waver me this next turn. So. And then I continue shooting with lightning bolt here. I just move up otherwise and position in such ways, prevent making it hinder charges, preventing double charges places. So just trying to create chaos with the angles and have an answer if Billy does charge anything that I'm offering him, which is a lot of stuff. Just all scarecrows, butchers, and a portal of despair if he wants to charge it. So I wind blast this unit backwards a little bit, and I do shoot this unit, and I get another waiver with the shooting. So shooting's on point. I think this unit's already up to 6 or 7 wounds now, maybe even 8. Yeah, and this is how it looks going into Billy's bottom of 2. And you'll see there's not a whole lot of movement there. Magnild charged here. He does a little bit of repositioning and he brings out the chaff units in front of his lines now. He does not even charge on the left here. He brings out the dogs and keeps everything else just unable to be charged over here. So yeah, just a delaying tactic effectively. None of my stuff's really gonna charge the front of his units here. So bringing out these dogs, it just allows me, I think, to kill him. And I think he had his choices of charges already. Um, and the snow foxes just aren't thick enough for me to really give anything of value that he otherwise wouldn't be getting. So. Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure if the dogs coming out is the right call here or not. I think that with your speed, you don't need to chaff in front of yourself. But at the same time, I think the dogs. I mean, they're hiding from the lightning bolt because I had lots of drops, so I he didn't know where I was going to be able to shoot him and whatnot. I think the dogs want to be able to just combo charge or charge in and block off, and I think that's you know maybe turn one the dogs could have came out in front, so that way turn two you could charge, but yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is. I think that we just have Billy backed up into a corner at this point, especially with closing the door on this section here. That's that is a pretty impactful um, maneuver because if these units aren't able to come and join in the fight, then I'm fighting, uh, a winning I have more units, more unit strength, and I'm mitigating a good portion of his army, a very powerful force of his army from contributing. So, um, yeah, and again, very little combat, only one combat here, and unfortunately, so the first round, Billy, I think, whiffed a little bit. He only did like 3 wounds, which is a big reason why I decided to take my chances and try to go around. He does more this time. He does like 5 more wounds, so I'm up to 8, but he fails to get the waiver. So I'm able to actually get the flank charge in, obviously hindered still, but that allows me to charge here, and then I'm able to shoot over here. So it just saves me a turn. And again, we're taking Magnhild out of the game for 2 turns so far. Uh, if she wants to finish him off, that's going to be a third turn. Right now, with the terrain and the distance, she's still not able to get into the back lines of my army effectively. So I'm able to maintain the pressure. Otherwise, we engage with the dogs. So on the left, I double charge with the butcher and the regiment here, and then just position to have an answer over here. I do double charge this one with the Dread Fiend from the left, as well as a hindered horde charge. And then I just throw the Portal of Despair into the other one because he can die, it's fine. And then shooting into this, and guess what we did? Even, you know, we just we get good nerve rolls with the shooting. I guess we wavered this unit. We killed that unit and backed up, so the Draugr can't see us. So the only thing that could deal with us now is Magnhild. And then we wavered this unit because they were rallied, which is a great result for us. That is better than killing that unit. It blocks this lane up for another turn, which that's my whole goal here is just block it up, right? So, yeah, kill those dogs and push forward with the horde. And I did not do any wounds with the portal, but that's okay. So going into bottom of turn 3 here, and this is Billy's board. So they were wavered and they didn't have enough space to back all the way out. So there really wasn't anything they could do. They just sit. Here, Slicksnare, who was in between both of those cav units, was able to move forward, pivot around, out, hit the Dread Fiend. So he comes at the Dread Fiend with his Slayer. That's a that can be nasty. So the uh, Regiment of Cav charged the Horde, which I'm okay with. That's obviously what was going to happen. Magnhild out on the right takes the hinder charge in, and then he was able to scooch over enough to get the dogs and the Lord into the portal. So he kills the Dreadfiend as we expected him to, but then he kills the portal, which I was not expecting him to do. Um, he has 8 attacks, hitting on threes, wounding on twos, and this is the brutal one, so that should be like 6 wounds. Um, yeah, and then the dogs, I guess, did a couple wounds. I don't know. That was just a lot. Killed him, uh, which it's fine. I can't complain. I've been getting great nerve rolls, but I was surprised that he killed that. I was even more surprised though that he killed that and he killed the horde here, because this is not the Brewer sharpness unit. If it was sharpness unit, yeah, I get it. I can see it. But hitting on threes, wounding on twos with 18 attacks, that should be 12 hits, 10 wounds, and 11 twice. Brutal, so 10 twice. Um, yeah, I just wasn't expecting that horde to die in one go to a single charge. So, um, and then he rolled 10 attacks. He did all this in order. He rolled 10 attacks. The three on the D3 for the Slayer. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, shit, is he gonna pick up my Dreadfiend too? Um, but luckily, no, that's not the case. He did not pick up the Dread Fiend. Didn't waver it, so we still have that going for us. So um, yeah, positioning wise, this is where we end up for top of four. On the left, I countercharge here. I debated just not charging at all, but that does open up opportunities for him to double charge with his lord and these guys into the regiment. So I figured if with that, I'm probably going to be losing him eventually. I might as well just clean up the dogs if I can, and potentially limit double charges with those 2 units. I do pop Blood of the Old King here, and I double charge with these guys here and Dreadfiend. My goal is kill the individual, overrun. I believe I need 3 inches on the overrun in order to get into the unit. So, similar situation to the game against Neil, game 2, where we're hitting an individual with Blood of the Old King. We only need, we have a decent chance of hitting in the next unit behind it. We'll still be elite and vicious, so we're trying our luck here. Out on the right, I can't control Magnhild anymore with the terrain, and I need to get in range of her charge range. So I do some janky blocking with Soul Flare or Mind Screech. So this Mind Screech is facing forward, blocking off the flank here, and this Mind Screech is facing towards the Soul Flares, but there's a little gap where I can draw a line of sight through, so I can still get my lightning bolts off. But I've blocked off Magnhild from hitting either of the 2 units back here. And then I just do a blocking charge. I believe I charge the dogs with the horde, which, yeah, puts me in a decent position. So, shooting, guess what? We got another waiver with our shooting. Why not? Combat, we killed the Lord, and we rolled a 1 inch overrun. Oh, so painful again, just like the game against Neil. Um, like I said, needed a 3 inch here. I think I needed a 2 inch for Neil's game, but yep, it's not meant to be. We can't get the combo of killing an individual with Blood of the Old King into another combat. One of these days we will. I'm actually just happy that I killed this individual. He's not a pushover individual, 13, 15 defense 5. So, but yeah, it would have been nice to overrun to do a little bit of damage to these units because there's no wound recovery on Billy's army. So, kill the dogs and then back up with the regiment and just pivot in such a way. Again, blocking double charges against both of these units. The rest of the combats, nothing else died. So this is going into Billy's 4. He does charge the Butcher. Charges the soul flares here. Um, yeah, he triple charges this horde. Now that's a dead horde, right? So, and then he blocks off with Draugr charge here, and Magneto comes into the flank of one of the Mind Screeches out of the force. So, uh, well, spoke too soon. That's not a dead horde because you do 21 wounds, but you roll Snake Eyes. The unit's not devastated then. So, yeah, sucks when it happens here. I think that yeah, it definitely helps me out, but I feel like we're still in a pretty good position, even though we lost a lot of stuff that first turn, and we weren't able to get the overrun stuff going. Uh, but that's okay. I should mention as well my shooting. Oh, this is my turn. But yeah, so he fails to break that. This obviously wasn't going to break. This was the bad turn for Billy. His charge coming out of the forest. Granted, he gets no hits against the Mind Screech. So the Mind Screech can shoot its lightning bolt still. And then he does not break the Butcher again because of the rally from the terrain piece. So that terrain piece is absolutely saving all of our units over there. It saved a unit that I wanted to save from Billy's, and it saved my Butcher. So on my turn 5, I am able to hit the flank with the troop that was out here. So flank front, gonna try to pick that up. He did kill the Mind Screeches over here. So this unit's kind of a problem. My Dread Fiend's already heavily damaged from his individual that hit it, so I'm okay with it, you know, taking one for the team, as it were. So charge in there, but this is the big turn that we are able to get behind Billy's lines. So this is after shooting already happened. We picked up the regiment, but my soul flares were able from this side were able to hit the flank of the Draugr here. And so we're in the flank of the Draugr. We're going to be able to turn and look at the rears and flanks of everything over here. Butcher Flesh Ripper is hopefully going to finish off this unit, and then we countercharge the Horde, I believe, or the Regiment of Cav. So, yeah, and then double charge this unit in hopes that we kill it. So we rolled pretty freaking ridiculous, honestly, over here. I think out of the 24 attacks, I hit 21 times or something stupid. It was way above averages, but anyway, we killed the what's it called? We killed the Fallen, and then positioning wise, there was no good reform for this troops. It was going to get flanked or reared no matter what. It's dead if it gets flanked or reared. So I ran it forward a little bit in order to block off charges into the already damaged Butcher. So I'm just trying to save one piece if possible. Did a little bit of wounds here. We wavered the dogs, I think. Yeah. We killed the troop behind. We did a few wounds there. And we failed to kill the Draugr here, which is annoying, but not out of the ordinary. They're dash 14, defense 3, though. So we should get like 7 wounds from the troop and another 3 or so, 4 from the Horde. So maybe a little bit below average, but that's okay. We got big averages over on the left. So yeah. So going into bottom of the turn for Billy, he takes the rear here. He counters there. He counters there. His Lord Nimble charges into the troop there, and that and that. So straightforward. He kills the troop as you would expect. He kills the Dread Fiend as you would expect. He does wounds this time to Mind Screech, which is good. And he kills the Horde and the troop, so he positions like so. So lot more cleared up now, but I still have the advantage, I feel, because I have the soul flares, healthy soul flares behind. I have a fresh soul flares and tormentor troops still here. So as far as the big unit strength units of Billy's, I think we will be able to take them out. But the lords are going to be uh, difficult for us to control at this point in the game. So, but we're nearing the end of the game. We have the unit strength advantage. We have after we take out this portion, we have the center locked down. So that is what we do. So over on this side of the board, I just move the butcher towards the center, thinking unit strength is going to matter. I just sidestep this unit so that way his lord can't nimble pivot around. If I would have charged, he would have had room to get around the unit and charge the rear here, so I avoid that. The unit from behind hits the flank here. The tormentors were able to see. They jump over, they hit the flank as well as going in the front with the other unit. Try to guarantee the kills on these units. Um, Otherwise, I just stay engaged over here because there's nothing better to do. I move up to shoot point blank lightning bolts because everybody knows those are more effective. We kill the dogs, we kill the cav, we kill the cav, and this is how it looks as our reforms. So, and we killed the regiment now. So we really cleared up all the unit strength. The only things left with unit strength are his two lords, and then he obviously has Magnildes. So he didn't have any options out here. He charges there. For bottom of five, he charges here for bottom of five and continues that fight. So he kills the Mind Screech, overruns to that positioning. He does not kill anything else. He does waver my Soul Flares. I back off. I keep everything kind of behind line of sight wise, so that way he doesn't have good charges. He can only attack the Soul Flares. And then this token roughly shows where the center is. So all these units here are in the center. I think my horde might be, it might not be. Either way, we knew all of these were, and there was no way for him to get rid of all of them. So I don't pick up anything this turn. Wasn't expecting to. But bottom of turn, Billy does finish off the regiment, and so that means he controls this terrain piece at the end of the game. Missed it again, guys, and he killed the soul flares. So that is where the game ends, and um, yeah, so another win, but another minor win. So we got 15 points for the win. We didn't get the objective terrain piece. We did not kill them all. And attrition was neck and neck within 100 points, I believe. So it was a solid 15-7 to finish out the game here. So yeah, I think overall big thing for me this event was just not focusing in on those two battle points for controlling the terrain pieces. I feel like I could have focused a little bit more on it to get them in a couple of the games where I didn't. Um, and I think it's worth the extra battle points, even if it um, takes away from the scenario slightly. And a couple times it was just I could do it. You know, I could play for it without actually hindering my ability to win the game. So that definitely was a big portion of it. Otherwise, very happy with how the army played. This is two events now where I've gone undefeated. Um, Next event's Masters, so I feel pretty confident with the list. It's doing what I want it to do. It's playing all scenarios very well. It's really causing headaches for my opponents to have to deal with. So happy where it's at. and I feel pretty confident, pretty comfortable going into Masters here. But anyway, to wrap up this event, I went 5-0. Michael, as I mentioned in the previous round, who I played and won in round four, was ahead of me battle points wise going into this last round, but he actually had a draw for his last game. So I did end up jumping him for battle points. But I did not win the overall. He still had better soft scores. So I did win best general though, which is what we want to go for. It's goal number one for me and several pretty much any situation. So happy with the overall outcome. Obviously, identified a couple of mistakes, couple improvements, but also very happy with the quality of players and everybody I got to play at this event. It being a smaller event, Bug Eater coming off Bug Eater playing against top end players, Masters players. Everyone I played at this event was still a former Masters player or a current Masters player, so still had the quality I needed to really get the test of the army. So uh, really appreciate all my opponents and appreciate Stephen DeRose as well for hosting the event. So Iowa GT, if you guys haven't heard of it or haven't seen it around, it is in Pella, Iowa. Definitely recommend it. It's a fun one, and yeah, it's a small one right now, but still has good quality players to play it. So that is where I'm going to end this one. So thank you guys for watching, and the next series you'll see is going to be Masters 2025. So hope to see you all there.